All right. I'm sure my screen is visible. If it is not clear, you may raise it. Otherwise, I'll assume that things are clear here. Right. So wanted to go back to what was our topic, which we were talking in the last class. This is where we stopped. Right. So we had a topology, network topology, having a router connecting two different local area networks, having which require 100 IP addresses. And I also mentioned that the 100 is the total number of IP addresses which are needed, which includes the interface of the router. Uh, Sometimes the question could be, the problem could be different way. Every of the LAN, probably the LAN A and LAN B, requires 100 IP addresses for its machine, or 100 hosts to be connected. In that case, the requirement will become 101. Please remember that statement. Right. So the same topology I have drawn here, and the IP which is given to us is this 192.168.10/24. We all know this particular IP is a class C network address because the host portion, all the 8 bits are 0, having 24 as the default mask. Hence, this is ranging from 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 up to 1.255, and somewhere we get 1.254 as well. And from 1 to 254, you got the usable IP addresses. So total number of IP addresses which are available is 254, but the requirement is 100 plus 100, which is 200. So approximately we got 50 plus IP addresses in excess. This is what we spoke in the last class. And we also attempted to assign IP addresses that for LAN A, we gave this range. For LAN A, we gave 192.168.10/24, 24 up to 192.168.1, probably 100/24. Let me not give 0 here. Let's start with 1 because 1.0 is a network address, right? So for LAN B, I have assigned like this 192.168.101/24 up to 192.168.1, probably 200/24. So this seems to be a perfect IP assignment. However, we know one statement very clearly about the properties of this router, right? One of the important properties of this router is it can connect only different network addresses or different networks, which means the network address here and the network address here should not be same, right? Now we'll verify whether that condition is met. If that condition is not met, our IP assignment is poor. It is incorrect, right? For that, I took a random sample, random IP address from this range. Let me take 1.50. Yeah, 1.50 is somewhere in the middle. So I take 192.168.150. That's the IP I had taken from LAN A. I take another random or sample IP from LAN B, where I have assigned from 101 to 200. Let me say 125. Yeah, seems to be a random number. So 192.168.125. Right. So this is the IP I had taken from LAN B. This is the IP I had taken from LAN A. Right. Now, can I find out what's the network address for this IP? Yes, I'm not going to recall our calculation. You should know by this time. The network address here is 192.168.1.0 because all the bits in the host portion must be 0 for a network address. That's what we have learned. And the mask is also default mask. So it should be 1.0. What about the second case for this IP? I write the number here, 192.168.1, and again, this all has to be 0, it's 0. So 192.168.1.0 is the network address we got for both the networks. Now, because they both have the same network address, this kind of IP assignment is totally invalid. Right? So we also have seen it in the last class. Probably I will demonstrate using this packet tracer screen as well. Um, I go to the router screen. Router has got two interfaces at least. one of the interfaces is fast Ethernet 00, and I'm giving the IP which is given to us 192.168.1. I think 50 we gave, and the mask is this, right? So I go to fast Ethernet 10 and I give IP 192.168.1.125. That's what we attempted it. Now it says it overlaps. The reason is both of them have the same network address, and hence the router does not accept this kind of assignment. So that's the reason I have used the word invalid. This kind of IP assignment is not possible. Now what shall we do? We have one of the simpler solution is you go back to the administrator and ask for another network address. Very similar to 1.0, you are requesting him to ask for 192.168.20. All right, you are giving 20. Whether it is possible, can I get this 20 network? It is possible. All right, if your network administrator is good enough and if he is kind enough, he'll be able to give you the requested network address. All right, but is it going to be a very optimized one? Again, your network administrator would say, no, sir, what you ask is not optimal. The reason is, even in class A, even in the simple initial network address which I have given to you, has got 254 IP addresses. All right, but what is required total is only 200. You already have got 54 IP addresses in excess. That's what we have calculated. All right, now you are asking for another 254 IP addresses, which means by having 254 IP addresses, you are going to use only 100 IP. With the another network address, you will be getting another 254 usable IP addresses. You are going to use only 100. Here, approximately 150 IP you are going to waste, and here also approximately 150 IP addresses you are going to waste. All right, now this is not going to be a solution now, because you take any address in this range. I'm writing only the last two octet, 1.0 up to 1.255. When the mask is 24, you take any IP, they are going to give you the same network address. All right, I don't think this problem is converging. All right, this problem is going to converge. The reason is you take any IP, the network address is going to be 1.0. Right? So how can we solve this problem? As many of you are knowing about this, we have a concept of subnetting. There is no other way than going to subnetting. I just write this called subnetting. All right. So what happens in the case of subnetting? Would you mind writing a line or two in your notebook? I appeal that you please make a note of it. I'm going to give a statement or two. Probably I write here as well for your easy access. It is a process of borrowing one or more bits from the host portion of the IP to the network portion. This is what your subnetting is all about, right? So this is not a rocket science, not a very complicated phenomena or concept, but very interesting number game. So I invite every one of you to play this number game with me, so that you will take this, you will understand this very, very easily, right? So the process of borrowing one or more bits from the host portion to the network portion, right? Suppose you have got two thumb drives, right? So suddenly your friend comes and asks, friend, can you lend me your thumb drive? And you are fair enough, you are good enough to give one of the thumb drives for his use. Now, if somebody asks him, how many thumb drives do you have? He would say, I have got one. How many thumb drives are yours? Then he should say 0. All right. So there is a difference from owning and borrowing. All right. So we are exactly using the word borrowing, right? So that has its own internal meaning. You will understand it as we progress in learning about subnetting. So it's a process of borrowing one or more bits from the host to the network portion. So let me illustrate this with a simple notation. For that, I'm going to write the IP address in a unconventional way, like this. We know 192.168. Third octet is 1, but I'm going to represent in binary 1034567 dot 1234567 slash 24. right? What is this notation? No, there is no standard name for this notation, but it is only for our convenience and understanding. I have written it in a mixed way, okay? Decimal as well as binary. Don't claim there is a standard format like this. No, this is only for our understanding, right? This is equal to 192 168 10. As we all know, these two are written in binary. Now my statement says borrowing one or more bits from the host portion to the network portion. For the time being, I cancel the second class. I'm having borrowing one bit. Okay, I'm also not using bits. So process of borrowing one bit from the host portion to the network portion. I'll take that case. Then we'll go to the second class of more bits, right? So which is the host portion? We know this is class C, network portion, network portion, network portion, host portion. It says from the host to the network one bit. Okay, so from host to the network I should borrow one bit. Which is that one bit? That one bit should be a most significant bit. Some of you may have a question in your mind, sir, why is it something called as most significant bit, something else is called as least significant bit? Let me take a detour once again to tell you what it is. For that, I take 3 digits like this. Initially, all these 3 digits are 0. So this is, if you write this in the decimal, you will get 0, right? And suddenly what I do, I make a change here. I make it as 1. Now this is equal to 5. I think 1 is 3. I think 4. Yeah. So this is equal to 4. Please correct me if I am wrong. 100 is equal to 4. Now what am I doing? I'm keeping it same way, which is 0. But instead of this bit, I'm making this bit as 1. Now this is equal to 1. Now you could see the difference it is making in the magnitude of changes, right? In both the cases, this is first case, this is second case. In both the cases, I have flipped only one bit here, right? Here I have flipped this bit, here I have flipped this bit, but the end result is different, right? Here the leap is 0 to 4. Compared to this, no, compared to the second case, the first case is a big jump. The change is 0 to 4. In the second one, the change is 0 to 1. Hence, we normally call this as a least significant bit, which means probably least important bit. This is going to be most important bit or most significant bit. There could be Humpty other number of explanation as well, but this is one of the reasons why it is called as most significant bit. Okay, let's come back to our story. So I'm going to borrow one bit from the host portion. That's going to be MSB. All right. Now, just a quick calculation. Network portion has got 8 bits here, 8 bits here, 8 bits here. Host portion has got 8 bits here, earlier case. Now what has happened? This 0 is connected with network. So what happens now? The network portion is now extended till this. Don't miss the story if you do not know it already, right? So now the network portion is extended. It has included one most significant bit from the host portion, and hence earlier you got 8 plus 8 plus 8, that is 24. Okay, number of bits in the network is 24. Now you have borrowed one bit. Okay, hence what happens? The number of bits in the network portion becomes 25. Please friends, do not miss out this line of story, right? I repeat it for the benefit of few of you. Earlier I got network portion, network portion, network portion, host portion. Network portion has got 24 bits. That's why in the slash notation I have used the number 24. Host portion has got 8 bits. Now we are getting into the process of subnetting, where one bit from the host is borrowed to the network portion. Hence the number of bits becomes 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 1. Number of bits in the host becomes 8 minus 1. All right. Now number of bits in the network becomes 25. Number of bits in the host becomes 7. Right. This directly changes the subnet mask. What is that, sir? What is it changing? Yes, because subnet mask represents the number of bits for the network portion. We have learned it in the earlier class, right? So now earlier we have got 24. Now I have borrowed one bit to the network portion. The mask becomes 25. So I write the mask as 25. All right. Now I have borrowed one bit. Let me take the example of the thumb drive which we have just quoted. I have borrowed the thumb drive from my friend, and I have at least have two options now. Either I can use it or I can just keep it in my packet. All right. Now, in the similar way, I have borrowed one bit from the host to the network. I can keep it either 1 or 0. Right. So what am I doing? Initially, I'm going to keep it as 0. So it becomes like this: 192.168. 0.0.0.0.0.0.0.1 dot. Initially, I'm keeping it as 0. It becomes 25. Okay, this is one of the cases, probably case 1. I write the second case, 192.168.0.0.0.0.0.0.1, and then this I am making it as 1 here, because I said earlier I can make it either 0 or 1. So earlier I have kept it as 0, now I make it as 1. 1, 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 0, 0. Mask is still 25. I hope you don't have any trouble in understanding the story so far. If at all you have got any question, please stop me or pause me. I can answer you now. All right, so don't hesitate to disturb me at present. All right, if you feel shy to disturb me, don't worry. You can call me up even after the class as well, and be in touch with me so that I can explain to you. Absolutely no problem. Be comfortable all the time. Right. So I can write this in the decimal format, which becomes 192.168.10/25 and 192.168.128/25. Hope you will not ask me the question, sir, how did you get 128? This is a very simple binary to decimal conversion. All right, this is in binary. 1 followed by 70 is equal to 128 in decimal. Right. So what have I achieved so far? I have achieved something. What is that? I have created two network addresses. What is it? Have I created two network addresses from one network address? What is the initial network address I got? 192.168.10/24 was my initial network address. Now I'm saying that I have got two network addresses. What do I mean? All right, we'll try that. We'll try to find out what does it mean. For that, let me take some more time to explain how do we calculate the network address for this as well as for this. Don't worry, we can spend little more time for that. And I keep this first two as it is, just to avoid confusion. And the third octet and fourth octet I write with our new logic or new format which we are using now. This is a network address. How will I get network address? How will I find out the network address? I can find out the network address by logical AND with the subnet mask. I hope you are following our story for the last 2 days and today also. So logical AND with subnet mask. So what is the subnet mask? What is the meaning of 25? Meaning of 25 is this. Where should I write? Probably I'll write here. Meaning of 25 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and the rest will be 0. This is the meaning of /25. Please remember, don't miss out this point as well. This is the meaning of /25. If I write this into decimal, it becomes 255. It becomes 255. It becomes 255. It becomes 128. Hope you got it. Right. So I'm writing this as the subnet mask now. 255 dot. This one I'm going to write as it is. And the last one also I'm going to write as it is. What is this? This is what this subnet mask. Right. So what will be the answer if I go for logical AND? It will become 192.168 dot. If you go for logical AND with 1 0 is going to be 0, 1 0 0 1 0 0, and you will end up in getting this. And here 1 0 0, all others are 0, so no problem for me. It's going to be 0. So what is the network address I got? 192.168.10/25. Shall we confirm it with the second one also? Yeah, second one I'm going to take this. I write that 192.168, same story. What is 128? 1000. 0000. This is the IP address I got. What is the mask? 255 same /25, right? So I'm writing the same mask. 1111 dot 10000000. So what will be my answer? It's going to be 192.168 dot. This is going to be 1 in the decimal. This is going to be 128 in decimal. Mask is 25. Could you visualize that we have got two network addresses, because this is one of the network addresses. This is another network addresses we have got. Still, if you feel no, sir, I'm not at all convinced. I'm not at all convinced. Then I should explain to you how are they working as different networks, right? So let me take the second example, okay, so that I can go a little faster. I take the second example. I said this is the network address. What is the network address, sir? You go for our statement. In one of the classes, I gave the statement of network address, which read, network address is an IP address where all the bits in the host portion is 0, right? So what am I going to do now? This is what our network address we have taken, right? 192.168, 1 and all 8 digits here. Which is the network portion? Which is the host portion? Please recall in our calculation now, this is the network portion because we have borrowed 1 bit. This is the host portion. So network portion, host portion. Now our statement says network address is an address where all the bits in the host is 0. This is the host portion. All the bits in the host is 0. Do you agree that this is a network address? Yes, you have to agree that this is a network address. Then what is the first usable host address, sir? What will be the first usable host address? You will add 1 with this. So what will I write if I write this in the decimal? 192.168.1.129, because 1 followed by 70 is 128. This 0 is changed to 1, so it is 129. What will be the next number? 10. So the next number will be 130. Then after that number, this becomes 131 and so on. And don't you think somewhere you will reach a number like this? This 1 is fixed. Don't change it. This all will become 1. Do you agree? This all will become 1. So how will it look like? Hope you agree with this. 1 followed by 7 ones. So 1 followed by 7 ones. Don't you think you will reach 255 here? Now, this is the network address. This is the broadcast address. This whole range till 254. Okay, this is a network address. Actually, 128 is the network address. This is the first usable address. So from 129 till 254 is the usable host address. So to make your understanding still more better, I'm going to write both the networks in a separate way, probably somewhere here. Where can I write? I'll write here. First network is 192.168.10/25. This is the network address. What is the first usable host address? 192.168.1.1 is the first usable. What is the last usable? 192.168.1.126. What is the broadcast address? 192.168.1.127. All are having mask as 25. Let me go to the second network. I give 192.168.1.128 is the network address. That is the second network. We have just learned it here. Here it is, right? And what is the first usable host address? This is the first usable host address. I write this 192.168.1.129. What is the last usable? Probably what is the broadcast address? 192.168.1.255 is the broadcast address. 255 is the broadcast address. What is the last usable? 192.168.1.254. All right. Now we have got two separate networks. This is the first network. This is the second network. Let's go back to our router and check whether that person is comfortable now. So I go to this router. I go to the fast Ethernet interface. What will I do? I give an IP from, okay, I give an IP from this range. Which range? that is 1 to 126. What shall I give? Maybe 1.37. Yes, 1.37 is well within 126. For this, shall I give 1.160? Yeah, 160 is between 129 and 254. So 37 and 160 we are going to give. So I go to fast Ethernet. I give 192.168.1 dot, what was our number? I think 37 I gave. And the mask comes as 255.255.255.0. I'm not going to agree with that. I'm going to change the mask as 128. Why should I change the mask, sir? Because the mask is no more 25, no more 24. It is 25. 25 means I just said here 255, 255, 255, 128. So the mask changes, right? Now we want this router to be happy. We'll see. I give another IP 192.168.1. I think we thought 160. Yeah, I think we 160. Okay, 160 with the mask 128. Now the router is happy. It has agreed. Okay, our configurations. So we can quickly see whether the configuration is reflected in the router. I give show interface IP brief. Okay, why is it not taking show IP interface brief? Show IP interface brief, right? So this shows you that it accepts two IP address 192.168.137, 192.168.160. Please remember, if the mask is 24, this is a invalid assignment. Please remember, if the mask is 25, this is a valid assignment, right? So this is what all about your subnetting. Okay, so now we go back to our actual story, where the actual statement said process of borrowing one or more bits from the host portion to the network portion. Okay, so I take another page where I'll write it, what is the meaning of one or more. So I write the same example so that you will follow the story clearly. 192, same story, 192, 168, 1.0. So I write this format. Okay, mask is 24. Now, instead of borrowing 1 bit, I'm going to borrow 3 bits, right? So I'm going to borrow 3 bits. What are those bits? This becomes these 3 bits I'm going to borrow. So that becomes the part of network portion. So this is network portion, this is host portion. So with the network portion, how many bits do I have? 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 3. So it's going to be 27. So what happens? By default, mask becomes 27. It is no more 24, it is become 27. All right. Now, as I said, having these 3 digits now, I can make it either 0 or 1 or combinations of zeros and ones, right? Because earlier we borrowed only 1 bit. So we changed it to either 0 or 1. So we got 2 networks created. Now we have got 3 bits. So what could be the variations you can show? 0, 0, 0, as you know, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. Then, yeah, you know this story. I write this quickly. So I can create 8 such networks. All right. So if I write this in the binary, you will know, but I'm straight away writing this into decimal. 192.168 1 dot, first is 0, so I'm writing 0/27. This is first network. Then 192.168 1 dot, this is going to be 001 followed by 5 zeros. Okay, so what is its equivalent? It is 128.64, it is 32. So I'm just converting this binary into decimal. Okay, nothing confusing one. 32/27. This is your second network. What will be the third one? You can guess it. 192.168 1 dot 64/27 is the third network, and you will get the 8th networks. If you continue the story, probably somewhere you will get 96, then you will get 128, then 160, then 192, then 224. So you will get 8 such networks. All are /27/27. So take only the first one. It is ranging from 0 to, yes, you should know, it is ranging from 0 to 31. Why? Because 32 is the next network. So I can guess from this it is going to be 0 to 31, where 0 is the network address, 31 is the broadcast address. So usable host starting from 1 till 30. Okay, so number of usable host addresses is 30. So please remember, any network has got one broadcast address, one network address, these two to be subtracted from the total number of usable IP addresses. So with whatever we have discussed so far, we have got some, we can arrive at a formula, right? So if you have, I'm talking only about the class C. Okay, I'm not, please don't be confused with class B or A at present. We'll spend little time later to talk about that. So if I borrow 1 bit, I can create 2 networks. If I borrow 2 bit, I can create 4 networks. Recently we borrowed 3 bit, we have created 8 networks. If you borrow 4 bit, you will create 16, right? So obviously 5 means 32, 6 means 64. You cannot borrow anything beyond that. You cannot borrow 7 bits or 8 bits in class C, right? So if you wanted to generalize this formula, if you want to generalize this formula, you will get a very famous formula. If you borrow n bit, you will get 2 power n networks. So if you want to create 4 networks from the given IP address, you should borrow at least 2 bits, right? And if you wanted to create 16 network addresses, 16 networks, and you are supposed to borrow 4 bits. All right. Now, in case you wanted to create 9 networks, okay, you wanted to create 9 networks, how many bits should I borrow, 3 or 4? The answer should be 4, because by borrowing 3 bits, you can create only 8. By borrowing 4 bits, you can create 16 networks. Okay, and 9 is smaller than 16, you can use it. So 3 will not be helping you, but 4 will help you. The remaining 7 networks are just available as a backup for you. That's it. But how many networks you need? 9. Have you got it? Yes. How many are extra? 7. Okay, let it wait aside. Okay, so this is how our subnetting goes, right? So now I wanted to show you a small topology. Okay, and you are going to tell me, this is the router LAN A. I just write A. This is LAN B, and this is LAN C. Okay, sorry for the typo. LAN C. Now LAN A requires 50 IP addresses. LAN B requires 50 IP addresses. LAN C requires 50 IP addresses. Now the question is, all right, now the question is, how many, first question, you may note down, how many bits are to be borrowed? And the second question is, you have to write the network and broadcast address of all the networks. Okay, so the given IP is our own famous 192.168.10/24. So this is the question which I post to you. Now you can work out the answer for this question. I am available on call. My mic is open, headphones are open. You can unmute and you can ask the question. You can take a snap of this with you to answer this question. I am going to stop my sharing of this, and I'm also going to stop my recording. So if at all you have got any question, you are supposed to raise it now. In the next session, we may go for variable and subnet masking, or I will ask all of you to unmute and keep your video open, and I will ask questions. Okay, so next 10 minutes, next 5 minutes, we'll spend time in discussion. If at all you have got query, please raise it. Now, as I promised, I stop sharing, and I also stop my recording.